The chamber beneath the hawk smelled of dust and secrets. Margaret held the lantern high, its light trembling against the stone walls. Thomas walked ahead, his heart pounding as each step echoed in the silence. Inside, they found a wooden chest, bound with rusted iron clasps. Across its surface was carved the same symbol from the journal, a hawk clutching a serpent. Thomas knelt, brushing away cobwebs. The lock snapped easily under his crowbar, and the chest creaked open. Inside were stacks of yellowed letters, ledgers of transactions, and, at the very bottom, a velvet pouch. Margaret's fingers trembled as she untied it. From within fell a gold pocket watch, engraved with the initials E.H. Her face went pale. Edward Hawthorne. The letters told the story no one wanted to believe. Decades earlier, Edward had made a desperate gamble. He had conspired with his father's business rivals, siphoning money from the family estate into hidden accounts. He signed documents, forged papers, even betrayed Reginald's closest confidants. But Reginald had discovered it. Rather than expose his own son to ruin, Reginald had done something even colder. He concealed the truth in writing, locking it away until his death, ensuring that Edward's betrayal would someday be uncovered by his heirs. Margaret whispered, this was his final sin. Not his own, but Edward's. By morning, the secret chamber was no longer a secret. Edward stormed in, his face flushed with rage. You dare to slander me with these lies? My father's mind was fading. These papers prove nothing. But Margaret handed the ledgers to Mr. Clement, the solicitor, who stood grim-faced in the corner. These are bank records, Clement said. Authentic, transactions bearing Edward's own signature. The room fell silent. Edward's children looked at their father with wide eyes, realization dawning. For years they had believed him the rightful heir. But now, the empire he had promised them was built on fraud. The argument escalated until voices shook the very rafters. Catherine, Edward's daughter, turned to her uncle's memory with tears in her eyes. Grandfather wanted us to find the truth, and we found it. This estate can't belong to you, father. Not after this, Edward roared. You ungrateful child! Do you think this family survives on kindness, on sentiment? No, it survives on power. But Margaret, calm and steady, spoke the words that silenced him. No, Edward. It survives on truth, and truth is the one thing you could never control. Days later, the court convened to rule on Sir Reginald's will. Mr. Clement presented the evidence, the journal, the letters, the ledgers. The clause was clear. The fortune would go not to blood alone, but to the one who uncovered the truth. The judge's voice echoed through the chamber. By the wishes of Sir Reginald Hawthorne, and by the evidence brought forward, the inheritance of the Hawthorne estate shall pass to Margaret Ashford and her son, Thomas. Gasps rippled through the room. Edward slumped in his chair, his empire gone, his legacy shattered. Margaret closed her eyes, whispering a prayer not of victory, but of release. In the weeks that followed, the Hawthorne manor grew quieter. Edward left the estate in disgrace, while Margaret and Thomas began the daunting task of restoring not only the house, but also the family name. Yet whispers lingered. Servants spoke of Edward's furious vow to take back what was stolen. Strange letters arrived, unsigned, warning Margaret that the past was never truly buried. And one night, as Thomas walked the halls alone, he swore he heard footsteps echoing behind him. Slow, deliberate, watching. The inheritance had been claimed, the truth uncovered, but the Hawthorne legacy, with all its shadows, had not finished haunting them. Wealth, power, betrayal. For the Hawthornes, it was never about the money. It was about the silence, and silence, once broken, never truly fades. What do you think? Did Sir Reginald orchestrate his illness? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because in the Whisper Files, every secret has a voice.